back to the Zay's World channel. It's Zay and Chris, and today we're going to give you guys the report card on the movie Moana 2.
Yes.
So, Moana 2, yes, we actually just recently watched the first Moana, so that kind of is what pushed us to watch the second one. Of course, before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe on the Zay's World channel at Zay's World 97.
And big disclaimer for both of us, we are not of Polynesian descent. We are not of Hawaiian descent. We are not going to be able to say these names correctly. We probably are going to sound actually insane when we say these names.
We apologize in advance.
Yeah, we are not trying to be disrespectful. We are not trying to make fun of any of these names. We won't be able to say them correctly.
But we'll try.
Yeah, we're going to try our best.
We will try, and that's better than most. You know, that's better than most. Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the plot and storyline of it. So just to give you a quick description of kind of what's happening here. Spoilers for it as well. Moana receives an unexpected call from her wayfinding ancestors, prompting her to embark on a journey across the distant seas of Oceania. Together with the crew from her village, she ventures into perilous, long-forgotten waters for an adventure unlike any she has ever encountered. So,
guys, This would be a great book to have kids pay attention to and literally give them a quiz after.
This would be pretty good. Now, before we get into the movie of it, this was originally supposed to be a Disney Plus show. I do remember about a year ago them saying that this was going to be a show. So originally I was thinking, okay, Moana made a lot of money. Clearly Disney's pivoting and they want to make a little bit more from different shows of it. That didn't go through because I think Disney had some issues with the Plus and what did they prioritize more, sequels or shows, and so they ended up splicing together what they had of the series into this movie. We do see bits and parts of that with the pacing and timing, but we're not going to get into that yet. We'll get into the storyline and whatnot. I'll give my thoughts on it first. I actually enjoyed this story better than the first one because I think the first one had so much of that. Okay, we got to introduce everybody, and then she's not a princess, but she is going to be taking over her village, kind of, so we kind of still got to present her like that, and meet Maui. This one felt like, not only do we already know that, but I like that she has more importance to her, and it's kind of hard to describe, but it's like, I don't know, her village believes in her way so much more because it's like she's lifted them way more because she's lifted them off the actual reef. Like she's actually brought them out to the water so they're not like fighting with her against it. But I do like that her goal is to bring all of different types of her people together. It seems like a bigger mission now. She wants
to unite all her people because they don't even know. And you know what? Props to them because in the first one I had said this when we were watching it. I had said, damn, the dad's gonna end up getting them killed because why on earth are you not willing to let her go out into the reef? You guys are out of step. There's no one else out there. And so in this one, she's saying there are more people. That's kind of what she's been doing. She's been adventuring off and being a wave rider? I forgot. Well, it's called something. It's called, he'll say it, he'll fix it, but it's called wherever she's just on. I was gonna say on the road, but she is wayfinding. Okay, well, no, it's wave, like a wave, like the light of the land of the sea.
Wayfinder.
Okay, wayfinder. But whenever she's doing that, she kind of goes to different places just so she can find and see what if other people are out there. It kind of gives me I Am Legend. He's trying to make sure there's some other people out there. Anyways, so I liked that. I like that part of it. And she's just trying to basically unite them, and she has to figure out how. And basically, whenever Maui comes in, is whenever he's actually going to show her, I can lift up the island, but at the end of the day, we're gonna be going through a treacherous storm that no one comes out of, and that's what ended up killing her, the other wayfinder, her ancestor. So
exactly.
It's do you want to be doing all that? Like he said, and I like that. Maui said, you guys are gonna die. You guys all came here to die because there's no way we're gonna get out of that storm. I'll probably get out, but I don't know about you guys, which in reality, based off the storm and what rinky-dink boat they had, they would have definitely died.
Wow. Like I said, most
they would have.
Before we get all into that though, I think that storyline and plot wise, I think that this was more enjoyable. It did have a more faster paced feel, so that's why we need to get into the pacing and the timing, because once again, this is where we both kind of noticed, okay, this probably was a show, because there's definitely some parts that are spliced and put together, and it doesn't have your traditional 3-act structure. Before she leaves out to go wayfinding, of course, there's a giant fire in the sky, which we later find out is just like a firework, which is very funny. It's kind of like just like a firework that was in the sky for a while. But of course, she was kind of instructed from her ancestors. She was kind of instructed from her ancestors to follow it. And so I do like how in the beginning of the movie, it shows you that she is just like a normal, everyday kind of person of her village. She just happens to be brave and courageous, because when she doesn't know where to go or what's going on, she'll let us know.
She is distinctly different than them.
She is different from them, but you gotta let me explain my point here. What I'm trying to say is that I like how they do make her relatable in terms of she's still anxious because she's like, okay, Ocean, like, where do I go? What do I do? Because it's like they are relying on you now because you are the main wayfinder. You know, I've forgotten what the name was that they give towards the wayfinder of their village and whatnot, but they do bless that upon.
Montanui is the island.
Montanui is the island, but whatever the title is that they end up having to call her, because she's like the queen wayfinder, or the person that they entrust to wayfind for the village. I like that they give that distinction upon her. It's much more important than I've ever seen when it comes to like a princess or anything like that. Like I said, she seems extremely important towards her village, and I like that they put that out front and center. She does have to go with a crew, and I like how the movie, like I said, the plot, the pacing, it said, let's introduce these people real quick. This is going to be her crew. I like that it jumps straight into it. We're introduced to quite a few people. Loto, who pretty much is going to be the person who, like, you know, she ends up building the ship.
She's
and engineer. Moni is the muscles, but also can help steer it as well. And then Kaylee really is like their pseudo like farmer, old man who really complains about everything, doesn't like the singing.
Oh, he's gonna help with like feeding them and stuff, making sure they have enough food.
Exactly, like their farm and whatnot, even though I never saw them aid at all whatsoever on the boat. But it is what it is. But they end up, his character was really there for the comedic relief as well. But the pacing and the timing, this is where the movie has a little bit of issues. It does feel rushed at some points, because once they get out to the water, it feels like they rush to get them to like each other and be on the same team, and it doesn't really feel like they go through any challenges before they hit the big challenge, which is the coconut people and the giant, clam. It just felt like that's when you can tell, okay, this is when it was a show, and they kind of wanted to drag it out a little bit more, because we don't know much about the crew besides what the movie gave us in the first 5 minutes. Like, it's very basic. Like, it's not like they really explain their past. We know that Moni really does like Maui, and he draws pictures of him and Maui together. He's a fan. Okay, like we said, Koto's the hyperactive engineer, and Kaylee just complains. That's it. Besides that, there's no.
Her name's
Loto, excuse me. But yeah, their name is Loto. But really, besides that, that's what kind of not loses me, but that's what kind of goes, okay, the main focus is us trying to pull up this island, and we need Maui's help. Then when Maui shows up, that's pretty much when things kind of pick up pace a little bit. But there was another character that was thrown in here.
Let me start it.
Go right ahead, yeah.
So
take it away.
There was another character by the name Matangi. She was great. I feel like they could have used her so much more than what they did, because to me, I thought she was the villain. I thought she was like, now she kind of was. She was a pawn in like the grand scheme with on the island of Montanui, but ultimately, I really thought that like she was gonna be a villain, because she was one who had trapped Maui, right? So I was like, okay, like that makes sense or whatever, like, Nalo, yeah. And so Montanagi, I literally, whenever I saw her, I was like, okay, she had a great song. We did like her song a lot, but it's like she kind of, what bothered me is the fact that she captured Maui. So we're thinking she's like, someone who is definitely, probably trying to make sure that he doesn't go with them, but also it's like she doesn't even. And then plus at the beginning she was talking about Moana. She goes, oh, like your friend's gonna come here so that, you know, she basically can die, just like how he was saying. He was like, oh, we need her here because she's a wayfinder. So I was like, okay, like that makes, so I kind of was already, and then plus she was a bat, which bats are not, you know, usually good, used for good creatures. So I was like, okay, she's evil. But then whenever it comes down to it, and then she actually gets Moana in there, she's telling her, you know, take a risk, and then she's all for it. So I'm like, okay, so it didn't click for me as much that it was a switch up, because to me it's kind of like it felt as though you wanted to meet Moana. You're a fan of Moana. Like I'm confused. I was a little bit confused just by that aspect, because I was like, okay, well, you literally were talking about Maui and how you want him to be the reason why she comes here to save you, so that you can take her, so you make sure she doesn't go and see the storm. But then whenever she gets there, you're telling her how to just go for it and just risk it all. And it's like, and I thought even then I was okay, well, maybe she's just telling her to do that because she's naive. She's
been trapped. Yeah, she's been trapped, or Montangi's been trapped there.
Yeah, in the
place. So like when Nalo's been defeated, then she gets out. Like we said, she was it's so crazy. She was really my favorite character in the movie. That's crazy. And she wasn't even on the screen for that long. Her song was also good too, Get Lost. I think, and it was different because, like I said, we're so used to seeing these people of the island, and then the only demigod we really saw was Maui. So to see Matangi, I'm thinking now we're gonna dive into them being the bad, or maybe they're here to stab them in the back later. When she's gone after her song, that's it. Yeah. We don't hear from her again.
Unless there's something in the post credits that we did not see. We did not stay. But yeah,
not gonna lie, kind of a disappointment, because I was anticipating her to show up later, and I was like I said, the movie was be something. It at least help them, because it's like you want to get something out of this, which is you want to get out of where you're trapped. So I would assume you would want to help them defeat them. But hey, she did give her good advice to, you know, look for another way and to get lost. But like I said, after that, you're gone, and I was like, it feels like if you weren't in the movie at all, it would feel much more like a Moana movie. This made it feel like, oh, we're kind of gonna do like I said, it made it feel like a show. Like I was like, oh, you're a character, and they were gonna do more with you, but they ran out of time. And like I said, for you to not show up later in the third act is what it is. And they kind of, like I said, it was kind of like she's only here because we got the song. So like, let's make sure we get the song. And when we're done, we're done. What do we do with her? Nothing. Yeah. So that's kind of what it came across.
Because to me, she could. To me, it's like you should have went all in of her being a villain and being like stuck there and like, you know, all that stuff. They should have either stuck to that, or it should have had her be someone good working with Maui, or maybe they were both trapped there and her and Maui are trying to get out. Then she comes to realize she can't get out. You know, I'm not trying to change the whole story, but it's just like I said, how you had her in the movie for like a quick song with Moana, and then
and she was like teased in the beginning, because remember, like Maui was trapped.
Yeah.
And so I was like,
I said, she was the big bad.
Yeah,
and
I was like, oh, you're a threat.
No, and then I said, and then you finally get Moana, and I'm thinking, oh, she's telling her to get lost so that, like, you know, she literally gets lost and doesn't actually complete the mission. But it's like, no, she was literally helping her. So to me, it was kind of like, oh, and I want to say this because I will forget it later on. Shout out to the All Lady Orchestra, or the All Lady Musical. It's not all lady musical performances, but I believe it's an all lady orchestra, or the two young ladies that had ever did that. Props to you both, because we like the music. I know that some people were saying like it wasn't good, but you know, now that me and him are talking it back, what? I don't know. Now that we are, you know, talking about it now, there are some flaws within the film that we might have not noticed right away, But like I said, I feel like I liked it better than the first one. I found it more endearing. I'm happy they didn't try to give her a love interest. I love her little piggy. So like I said, I liked it. I actually also like the music a little bit better, but I do miss that main song. I do miss that, and I was singing it after, because that first song, so good.
I liked Beyond. I thought Beyond was a really good song. I think that they do a good job of incorporating the strong lyrics of the best tracks into progressing the actual story. So for her to be adventuring and then to say like Beyond, you know, it really helps with having you relate to, okay, she's getting older, but she's also wanting to help out her people even more. You can't just stay where you are. You have to go beyond where you actually are to do something better for your people. I like the whole action of the island and her pulling it up. I will say, and Get Lost, and Get Lost was my favorite song. But Can I Get a Chi-Who? Hell no. That definitely felt, look, Dwayne, we get it. Hey, you got to have a song in there. But we didn't show up to the plate the way that we should have with You're Welcome. Like, You're Welcome felt like he was really trying. This one felt like, damn, we got to get a song in, like, for Dwayne. That's what it felt like. But I do want to say the music, I think, overall was better. It felt more, not modern, but it didn't feel like it was just specific towards the culture. It felt like the culture's music mixed with, like, modern-day beats that could get you going. So I kind of like that about it, too. But I will say that my biggest gripe with the film is this is a spoiler. It is in the third act. I thought that they were going to go all in with the threat of, okay, when she touches the island, now you can bring it back up, or Nala's been defeated, and now Maui can bring him back up. I think that it was a big tease from the beginning that Maui was like, hey, I really don't want Moana to get hurt. I need to keep her away from me because it would hurt me if she got hurt, but I'm trying to act all man and muscular, only for him to pretty much almost give up he gave up his powers.
He just wants Dwayne to suffer.
I'm not saying I want, no. That's getting cut out. Because I was on a roll. I forgot now. Dang. But what I was saying was, I like that Maui was willing to give up his powers and sacrifice damn near everything for him to, okay, I want these people to have their island, for them to feel expanded, only for them to give the powers back later. I was like, no. I was like, don't do that. Okay, Moana getting hers because she got struck by lightning. That was crazy. I was like, she got messed up way more in this one than the last one. Because in the last one, I'm like, okay, you're getting thrown around by the whole lava woman monster. And that got concluded with her just holding up the heart. And I've always felt this way about the first one. I said, I was like, that's anticlimactic. It's not as big of a win. This one, okay, she got struck by lightning, by the storm, and you did achieve your mission of being on there. And I was like, oh wow, there's an actual threat of Moana being, dead, because she gave up her life to have this, to bring the people together. Of course she's gonna be fine. She gets her little tattoo now, but I don't know. It took away that Maui didn't have his powers, and then now he just did back quickly. I didn't really like that. I felt like if you're gonna take away someone's powers that we've seen them have them since the first one, because he was already complaining about, I don't have my, not his boomerang, but whatever
his
it
hook,
is, his hook. Yeah, he's like, I don't have my hook. He's just bitching about that hook for so much of the movie. It's like, now you have it. Oh, my hook's broken. Oh, okay, great. It's like, I don't know. I kind of wanted to see him be humbled just a little bit more of like, you don't have your powers, you're chill. That's just me, because if you're going to introduce that, stick with it instead of 2 minutes later, oh, here they are back again.
But I had told him, y'all, I was like, babe, do you know what we're watching? We're watching a Disney movie.
I know, but I was like, take them away. I was like, don't cheese that.
Please, if he loses them, he's getting them back before the end. I promise you. Because it's like they need him always for that plot armor, kind of the Deus Machina stuff that you be saying. They need him there, because who else is going to help her in these treacherous times? That's true.
I'm not too hard on it, but I was like,
But I told him, I was like, and even whenever he lost all his tattoos and stuff, I was like, I don't even think he lost his powers, but you concluded that he lost his powers. So I was just like, huh?
I did conclude he lost his powers.
Exactly, and I was like, I don't know.
But it makes sense because when Moana got her arm tattoo, she has powers of, like, when she touches the ocean, she has like her wayfinding powers. I think it shows her where to go, but like it turns yellow, so like the tattoos do have power behind them, which makes sense because in the culture.
And then like her grandma, whenever she's a stingray.
There you go.
Okay, so what I wanted to say, so to give these two ladies props, it says the songwriting duo. So they wrote all the songs. Abigail Barlow and Emily Baer made history as the first all-female team to lead a Disney animation film soundtrack with Moana 2. The two are also the youngest composers for a Disney film. Props to you, ladies.
They did great.
Props to you,
and
ladies.
The music felt a little bit more young, up to date, and it felt great to hear. Like I said, I liked it. I liked their soundtrack. But overall, let's go ahead and finish up with the acting and performances. I mean, I'm probably gonna pronounce her name wrong.
Yeah.
Ayalili. I'm gonna say Ayalili.
Maybe just say Ali.
Ali. Let's just.
We'll keep it like that. Sorry,
Ali?
y'all.
We're
We're gonna
sorry.
keep it like that.
Our fault. Don't cancel us.
My fault.
She's
My fault.
my fault. She's still great as Moana. She's honestly somewhat of a she's kind of like one of my more favorite not Disney princesses, but you get what I mean, like one of the main faces of like the main female characters that
they
have.
had her swole.
She's great. She's an adventurer. I think that she does a great job in the film. I think she sings well. And, you know, her little sister is also very endearing too. Not too much of an annoyance, but I would say that. Like I said, Dwayne as Maui, though, he is expected. It is very by the books. It's nothing too different. Like I said, it was just the song that kind of threw me off. It could have just been done better. But I will give a shout out to Moni. I thought Moni was funny. I thought his character was great, and for the time that he had, I thought his voice actor was very, very funny. And then Awimai, Matt, I'm just gonna say it like
sure?
that.
Yeah, I'm sure that's their name.
Yeah, that's.
Who's? Oh, Matanagi. That's
as Matangi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had you put Mating.
Yeah.
Mating.
Yeah, but anyways, she did a great job as Matangi. I thought that she was great for the time that she was in there, and hopefully, I figure they would have a third one. I hope that they take time, make you the bad, or make you a character that we get to learn more of, because I don't want Dwayne to be the only demigod we have in the series, because then it will feel stale. I did feel like this at the end. I said, we can't have another movie where it's just Dwayne or where it's just Maui and Moana as the main team. I feel like we need somebody else, because
that's why they brought the crew in.
Yeah, and I really hope the crew gets better. But that's just my thoughts on the voice acting performances in the movie. What do you think?
I think the voice acting was fine. I love hearing people voice act anyway. Dwayne, it doesn't change that much, but I'm very used to hearing your voice anyway. But of course, Ali, she does phenomenal. I think she has a great like, and even though Moana isn't a princess, but she does have a great Disney princess voice. I think it's very sweet and serene, and everyone sounds very good whenever it comes to the singing. Now, what I will say, Moana, in this one, you were a bit loud. And then you had a part where it went really quiet, and then you sounded louder. So that's the only thing that I worry about, because I get headaches, right? And that's just me. That's something that I got to deal with. But, you know, whenever you went quiet, whenever she kind of I did like the slow-mo. I like the climax of the movie in terms of, like, her having that slow-mo and her having to touch the island, because a human has to touch the island in order for it to be brought up from, you know, Dwayne. So I really enjoyed that. Like, I like that slow-mo. I liked, like, how all the ancestors had came back to, like, bring her back. I love seeing grandmama come back, girl. But ultimately, I thought her little sister was annoying. Like, I thought her little sister was a little bit annoying. She was cute at first, and then I feel like they changed her animation, and then, like, she just got really annoying. I don't know.
It was one of the episodes that they had to throw together, probably.
Yeah, I feel like her animation had changed. I don't know, like, something just looked a little bit crazy, but also, I do wish, also, though, in Moana, I wish we kind of had a little bit, now this might be nitpicky, but I do wish we kind of had a little bit of a timeline. Like, how long were you gone? Were you just gone for a few days? Were you gone for some months? You know, I would like to know that, so I can see how long it is you are wayfinding. Even whenever you leave for, like, at the beginning, whenever she left for the day, and that's how she even found the little, like, cup or, like, pot or whatever that the chicken had messed up. It's like, and that's how she found her other people, because she said she's seen the symbol before. To me, it's like, how long are you gone, like, on these wayfind? Like, I just want to know. I would love to know.
The first one, her sister had said, like, you were gone forever, and then Moana said it was 3 days. So 3 days was how long she was gone when she was getting the pot with the chicken. But I don't know how long she had been gone when she actually wanted a wayfinding thing. But
that's what I'm saying. You had to be gone for a month. Like, come on. And then, like I said, are the parents gonna get busy again? I do like.
Oh my goodness,
how,
she's up in everybody's business.
I really do like, though, like I said, how they haven't tried to make her have a love interest. Like, she's her own person. She's doing what she wants
really
to do.
Need one at all.
She's doing it for her people. Like, I do really enjoy that aspect of it, because it's just like, you know, it's her. It's not about her finding a prince or her going and saving a man or her going and saving some. It's like, no, like she's trying to do it the best for her culture and her people.
It's very good. I will say that Disney has nailed, as well as Disney has nailed the traditional damsel in distress, princess needs to be saved, who does, or not needs to be saved, but even has a male love interest in the film because of reasons. I think they've done just as good as a job having female characters be just as strong, if not better than that. I think they did a good job with Wreck-It Ralph with Penelope, because she never needed to have a male interest. And the same thing here with Moana. Doesn't need to say this. I will say this with Moana: keep making them, because these movies are beautiful. These movies are like, there's a different level of animation they put towards it, because like even the cloud, even how the illumination is on the actual scales of the clam, how the coconut people look, the tattoos in detail, like, and the water. Like I said, it all looks beautiful. And at night with the sky, like I said, Disney does it. You can tell Disney puts a lot into this kind of department when it comes to their animation. But keep making these. Just make one more movie, honestly. I don't think there needs to be a series unless you find a side character in the third movie strong enough to do a series from, because it can't just be. You could do a Moana series, and you could do something like that similar to Lilo and Stitch, where it's like, we know the big movies, but the series can carry itself.
I think they should do one more movie. And honestly, with that movie, have a true villain, like, or villains. It doesn't matter, but don't have it to be so anticlimactic at the end. Like I said, I like this ending better than the first one, because, like you said, like showing her the heart. Now the lady's just stopping. Please.
It was, like I said, it was done. I was like, oh, that's it. That's just
so
done.
That's why it's like, I do hope you have a really strong villain that's actually like, and actually hurt somebody. Like, I know this is a Disney movie, but no one has. We don't have any stakes. Her chicken is still alive. Her pig is still alive, because the water's on her side. Maybe the water can be the villain, you know?
That would be, or the water gets contaminated or something, but we need her to fight in some sort, because we need her to experience loss. Because now granted, she did experience loss with the stingray, you know, Grandmama. But Grandmama literally kind of just died randomly. Like, Grandma was chilling on the beach, and then she was sick. And then she was sick and then died. So that was a little bit alarming. So that's why it's like, I would want her, and I guess her grandma had to die to like be with her on the water. And I feel like that's kind of was like the inference there. But ultimately, I do hope, give her a strong villain, and then honestly, after that third one, have it kind of conclude her story of, like, you know, the wayfinding type thing, or, you know, it can still continue, and then you can have a nice little series after that and see how that goes, along with her just doing wayfinding adventures. You could make a series out of this, but finish off that third movie, have it be strong, put your all into it, and then you can have literally series after that and see how it reacts. And really, and when we mean give it your all for it, we mean like, give it your all for it. Like, don't try to do a series. Like, if you're gonna do a series, go to the series. But if you're gonna do a movie, make the movie consistent, because it has missed that. Because how I feel at the ending of these is kind of how I felt at the ending of Wish. Good concept, good movie, but that third act, I'm wanting more of a threat from the actual villain, instead of, oh, it's a cloud. Okay, now we gotta avoid some tornadoes, and okay, all right, a little bit. But like I said, she did get struck with lightning, but it would be nice for her to have to battle something a little bit. And we're not saying someone has to, like, perish, like, for real, but
I think her dad can die. And that would make sense.
Someone who's close to her.
Unalive.
Or maybe it's too late now. Or maybe Maui himself. Maybe you can do that halfway of the third one, and you can have him actually. That would be great. Of like, oh, he's actually gone, and she
have
has
all the
to do
demigods
it on her
go.
own. Maybe that's it. Like I said, or you can, and maybe the series can be her getting them back or something. Look.
And her collecting them like little coins.
Let's stop, because they're already listening, and they already got it in their studio.
That would be a good concept that'd be a good concept in terms of the first season, her finding the demigods, and then the second season, them all kind of like, I'll stop.
Exactly, because we're giving too many ideas. We need to get paid for this. But anyway, for the rating of Moana 2, we're going to give it a solid C. It's just a C. The reason why it's not an A, obviously, is because of the pacing.
The jumbling of it, yeah.
It did feel like a show that was put into a movie. So we do ask that if you want to be a successful trilogy, because there's great Disney trilogies, we know of them. This has to land well for a third movie for us to remember it back and be like, hey, that was a really good one. Yeah. Or look back and be like, did they really have to make 3 of those? Because like I said, after these 2, I'm sitting here thinking, if you're going to do a third one, it needs to be better than the second one. And the second one didn't have to do all that much to be better than the first. Not going to lie to you. It didn't have to do much to be better than the first one, besides the music. But anyway, that's my opinion why it's not an A.
Yeah, the reason why it's not an A, like I said, the more we kept talking about it, the more I'm kind of thinking like, oh, it is kind of, like I said, but it does just seem like a little bit rushed. And like I said, it's just like, it's really just the villains. Like the end of it, like I said, this villain was, I feel like, better because she did kind of die, like, she did, you know, move on for a little bit. And but like I said, it still didn't have me cry. I wasn't sad. But like I said, I don't have the soul ties to this because obviously I'm not Polynesian descent. So it's like some of the things they were saying, you know, obviously I wouldn't understand them. I'm not well versed in those things, but I would say it was like he said, it is a beautiful movie. But and like I said, I did like it better than the first one. I usually do like the second movies better than the first anyway.
Yeah.
I can't believe how long ago the first one was. But I think, like I said, just like I said, to just pull it off, tie it all together, do a bomb third movie, have a strong villain, have her. I do need her to experience loss, and it doesn't even have to be that they lose, like they pass on, but it could be like they lose for a long period of time, and she has to get them back, or maybe like, you know, someone's, you know, possessed or something, and they have to go away.
I think that she just to wrap it up, I think that even if we were of any sort of Polynesian descent or whatnot, I feel like we don't have to be to get some connection, but it's not strong enough with her. Probably just, I think it's a detriment to how like the movie's been put together and maybe advertised, because this one wasn't marketed very well because they know they just kind of had to get it out there. But I don't think that she has as much relatability maybe as what we've seen from other female Disney leads. That's probably why, but that's just our opinion of it. But in terms of what this movie is it's just okay. But for it to be just okay and it's better than the first one, that tells you the tier levels that you expect out of Disney movies. Like we said, there's a lot of other Disney princesses that are like, you're memorable because of this. The fact that we're not of Polynesian descent, but we still can't find like that strong connection in this one, kind of says like there needs to be more character development and maybe a time lapse done in the third one. She can't just come back after a couple days for the third one. It's got to be like, give us a year, give us a couple years, some montage, and really have the pacing done well. But that's our thoughts on it. Hopefully our ideas come to the big screen, and if they do, pay us for them, because like we said, you come here, you come here for great ideas. We're going to give you great ideas, especially if you want to do another show. Because like we said, this can be another version of like Lilo and Stitch, you know, except if you're going to compare them, the 2 Lilo and Stitch movies were better than these 2.
I'm biased toward Lilo and Stitch. I love Lilo and Stitch.
But anyways, we will catch you guys next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.